Hi guys, welcome back to Fiery Love 1111. I'm back doing a reading for the collective on the Divine Masculine and Divine Feminine. This is for soul connections, soulmates, twin flames, anybody you really feel you have a strong soul connection with, okay? I just want to introduce my newest deck I just got. It's called the Celtic Dragon Tarot, and this is a guidebook that goes with it. It's a beautiful, beautiful deck. It is by DJ Conway and Lisa Hunt. I definitely highly recommend it. I haven't seen very many Dragon Tarot decks out there that I really cared for, and I have seen this, been looking at it for months, and it has just been calling me and calling me and calling me, and I finally made that purchase, and I have not been disappointed whatsoever. It is a beautiful, beautiful deck. And I was just sitting here getting ready to do the reading. These 5 cards came out. They all have just as a beautiful, beautiful message with them. And so I just thought, you know what? I don't know if I really want to pull any more cards. But the messages that I have been getting regarding this, it's something that really should be said. So I just want to start off. The very first card that came out was the Magician. Now, as you can see in this card, see all the little dragons? There's dragon guides. Dragons are in the astral plane, okay? And they help guide us and can give us, all kinds of loving guidance on our path and help us to make choices that we need to on this life path. And they can be hard. It's not always easy. And the Magician is here working now with these energies. So when these cards come out, usually when that happens, it's a representation of something that's inside of yourself. And so I really resonate with this reading as a reader, even myself, because certain cards always just keep falling out for me. And on my path, as I'm learning and as I'm on this soul connection too. I have a twin flame, and I'm learning to transmute energies that no longer serve me as well. And so when this card just keeps falling out for me, it shows me that yes, I am still working and doing this transmuting energy. I am in this magician's energy. Okay, and it's not, you can call it magic, but it's not really magic. It's just taking energy from one form that is, say a lesson that we've been needing to learn, a darker energy that's in our field, and we've learned to take that. Once we learn that lesson, you can transmute that darker energy and transmute it into something beautiful. Right? So once a lesson's learned, that darker energy gets transmuted into something like hope or knowledge, something that will steer you forward on your path, right? And so this Magician energy is very, very beautiful right now. If you see the Magician's card a lot, or if you work with tarot, that's telling you that, these cards fall out because they're connected to your energy. Like attracts like. So if certain cards keep coming out for you, that's showing you that yes, this is resonating, because this is going to show up because it is attracting to you as a light body, right? It's attracted to your astral energy. So pay attention to these things, Spirit says, okay? Pay attention to those. And then, the next card, so that's what she's doing. She's transmuting. She's using all these elements, all the elements, the air, earth, water, fire, and she's transmuting those energies. She's taking that element of fire and transmuting a darker energy, like I said, of a lesson learned. And Spirit's not really showing me the lesson, but it is a lesson learned. and she's transmuting into something light. She's transmuting into something beautiful that she can use. I mean, you can use the darker energies too, but once you have no use for them, once they no longer serve you, why keep it? Why keep a dark energy surrounded to your etheric body? Transmute it and turn it into something useful. And this is what the divine masculine and feminine collective are doing right now with this. They're transmuting these energies into something more useful. They're taking those tools, because you know the earth, air, water, and fire are all elements that we can use on this earth plane and learn from them. And I do suggest, even in this card, to take those energies and learn what is an earth energy, right? What is that? It's grounded. It's grounded. What is the air energy? It's knowledge. What is fire? It's transmuting. And what is water? It's flow. Flow is Zen, I mean. And it's very non-judgmental. Water helps everybody. It makes no judgments. And it can transform. Ice, snow. During the correct seasons, water is one of the most beautiful energies to ever work with. If you're not sure, just ask yourself this question: am I the shape of water? I ask this to myself all the time. And I say this to myself: I am the shape of water. Because what is the shape of water? It is flowing. It is a surrendering. It harbors no judgments against rocks, against iron. You know, it always flows and knows its way and finds its way to the sea. Water is Zen. Water is flow. Work with that energy of water. And earth is grounded. It's grounded. It's solid. And the air is the beautiful, beautiful, you know, that's the working of your mind. It's the thoughts. Thoughts create reality. So when you work with these energies, right? And fire's transmuting. Fire's taking all that energy and transmuting it into something that no longer serves us. So we can use these energies. We can utilize them in our lives. It's not just an element to live with. Because we're on the earth plane, we all need fire, air, earth, water. Right? We need water to survive. But what about the energies to work with as an energy? It's an elemental energy, so we can work with that and utilize it. And this is what the magician is doing right now. This is what the divine masculine and divine feminine in this collective I'm channeling is working with right now. Their magician's energy that is within them, transmuting these things, transmuting into something new. So when this happens, as these energies are getting transmuted from darkness to light, from energies that no longer serve into something that is good and helpful for us, then what happens? This is the next card that popped out, is the Page of Cups. And that is a message of love. You see how that dragon has a cup in that little scroll, and he's bringing a message of love to her. Because divine masculine and divine feminines that are in this collective are getting to that point that it's time. It's time. Okay, they're all, like attracts like. So as one works and one happens, these energies are getting transmuted, then they attract this. They attract this because it trickles from the 5D transmuting this beautiful energy into the 3D, into a message, you know, phone call, text, visit. I'm not really sure, you know, it could be all of it or none of it, I'm not sure. But then, so the next card that came out is the Lovers. Okay, so this is no accident. This is how they all fell out, one right after another. This is first, second, third, fourth, and the last. And I'm going to just talk about them all. But so what is the Lovers? Look at this card. The energy that's in this card is just amazing. At first, all you see is an earth dragon looking at his water dragon, right? She's a water dragon. She's always staying in water. He's an earth dragon. He doesn't need water. He stays on the earth. And at first, the energy comes across as we're too different. We're too different. You know, like they're sniffing noses and checking each other out, and they're like, hey, you know, you don't even really look like me. You're very different than me. But the energy that's coming through, okay, so that was like a past energy. But the energy that I see also with it is like this magician's energy that is being transmuted. There's like this energy that's flowing around them because they're learning to see each other in a very different way. And they can appreciate those differences rather than see them as something that is a diversion to keep them apart. They can see it as something that they can use and something that they can learn from and to help them grow, right? So this very grounded energy, could be divine masculine or divine feminine, right? Very grounded, solid. I'm even talking like financial energy, you know, the very 3D earth plane type energy, right? And here's this, you know, watery flow, zen, intuitive, emotional, maybe kind of energy. And, you know, they're very different. But they're not so different, are they? Because when they look closer to each other, they realize they need these energies to balance themselves out. Maybe this, the grounded energy is a little too grounded, a little too analytical. You know, I could use a little more flow in my life, he says to her. And she says to him, you know, I'm so flow, I'm just so zen and go with the flow, but I'm not very grounded. I could use that grounding. I could use a little more so they can learn from each other. And you see, they see each other as very different now. It's a very beautiful energy. They can appreciate that, appreciate those differences rather than being a diversion. It's an appreciation now. It's a very beautiful, almost starting to blend, like temperance is in here a little bit too. Blending these, balancing, Spirit says. It's balancing more. And then the next message that came out was the Ace of Wands. And what is that? The new beginnings. It's new beginnings. You see the 3 baby dragons. One's peeking out of the shell, just barely breaking out. One's stretching and breaking out of his shell, and this is last one doing his little dragon, whatever cute cry dragons make. And the rainbow, new beginnings, new beginnings. This Ace of Wands. You know, new beginnings are happening because of this energy. And then the last card that came out, which is like a perfect card, is the Strength. Because what do we need? Okay, what do we need after this? You know, we can transmute energies all day long, right? But then what do you do with them? How do you utilize them? You utilize them connecting in the outside world, the 3D world, messages of love. Lovers seeing each other and being able to appreciate each other. Appreciate those differences. Can bring new beginnings. But having the strength to always remind each other and remind ourselves. It's more important actually to remind ourselves always to appreciate those differences. People come into your lives for a reason. There's always a reason for this. Can we appreciate the differences of our divine counterpart? You know, all too often we get in our ego minds and say, well, he's just so different. You know, he's just so analytical and always just thinking about money and thinking about, you know, business, things like this, right? And then, you know, she says she just doesn't, she's very emotional. She doesn't understand that part of him, right? Your ego can really wreak havoc on you. You know, Spirit's really showing me that. Your ego can really wreak havoc on you when you let that happen. So finding the strength's energy is here to be able to look at that diversity and not see it as diversity as something that will keep you apart, but that's something that you can appreciate. Say, how can I look at those things that I don't like? Maybe I don't like them. This is your higher self coming in and talking. Maybe I don't like that, or I can't understand it because it's not in me. And we don't like things that aren't in us, right? Or the things we don't like about ourselves. You know, if we don't have a good financial understanding of things, then yeah, we're not going to like it, right? So our ego is going to wreak havoc on us and talk all this negative crap. But our higher self says, wait a minute. Why can't, how about you take a closer look at that and see what you can appreciate that. See how you can appreciate that and see how you can utilize that. If you don't have it in yourself, then maybe, that's why we brought it to you, Spirit says, right? And it can work the same for this grounded masculine or feminine. And take those earthy, or take that water dragon, the zen, the flow, the intuition. They're very, very, very different energies, even getting into the emotions. And if you're not a very emotional person, say, hey, maybe I can appreciate that. Maybe I do have something to learn from this. And I can try it. Right? It's finding that strength to appreciate those differences. Because even though like attracts like, that doesn't mean it's never going to. So, it doesn't mean that a water dragon's always just going to be with its water dragon. We also attract what we need. Spirit will always give us what we need. Regardless of what we want, Spirit will always give us what we need. Our higher selves always know what we need. And that's the guidance you have to follow. Even if you don't recognize it yet, try to learn to trust it, Spirit says. Because in the end, when you look back, you're going to say, you know what? I think maybe my higher self was right. I learned a few things. And I can appreciate that difference now. I can appreciate that difference. I have the strength to appreciate that difference and not push it away. I can learn from these beautiful things. And then you could almost start it all over again. It's almost like a circle right here, right? Because then you can just keep transmuting it. Once you take that knowledge that you don't need anymore, that once you've learned these messages, you can transmute it. Be the magician again. Transmute those old thought patterns, those old ideals. And transmute it and start over. Transmute it into something that your soul can learn from. Something that your soul can learn from, that you can utilize and grow and be better than you used to be. That's the magician's energy. And the messages of love, Page of Cups, messages of love, come in all forms. They come in all forms, so watch for that. Watch for that, because it's a beautiful energy. And being able to appreciate differences. That's huge, huge in this reading. Being able to truly appreciate that difference. You know, because in this, you know, I'm seeing it like, so they're more and more looking in the mirror, right? They're looking in the mirror and they just keep, you know, all right, we're not so different. We're not so different because I do need these emotions in my life. I do need these emotions in my life in order to process and get rid of old, you know, childhood pains, childhood issues. Emotions are useful. He's learning to see this. Okay? He's learning to see this. The more he taps into this energy of his divine feminine, which the more and more I see this, the more and more I feel like, you know, this is divine feminine, this is divine masculine. Because they are usually very earthy, grounded, analytical, business-oriented, not very emotional, right? And water dragons are very, you know, they're the divine feminine, emotional and zen and grounded and flow, and they learn from each other. Hey, I can look at her and yeah, sometimes it reminds me of some childhood traumas, but then I can take that energy and I can transmute it. I can get rid of this emotion, this pent-up emotion, release it, conquer that, and then transmute it. You know, this is this beautiful circle. Transmute it into something. Get rid of what no longer serves and transmute it. And process it. Let it go. Let it go. And she can get more grounded and get into this more analytical and grounding energy to help her, you know, learn business better, maybe learn financial skills better, things like that, right? Not be so emotional, bring a little more balance into their lives. They can look in the mirror and see this. This is beautiful. Yeah, I need a little bit of you and you need a little bit of me, and maybe we can learn from each other and we'll both be okay. We'll both be okay. We'll balance each other's out. Balance each other out. New beginnings can happen because of that. It's new beginnings. Because we can see each other differently. We can appreciate those little things. Really appreciate them. Maybe for the first time. You know, Dr. Wayne Dyer says this perfect saying that I've always loved, and I try to say it whenever I can, and this is a perfect example. When you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. Or maybe he quoted it from somebody else. I don't know. But I've always loved Dr. Wayne Dyer and the way he said that. And can you see how this applies? When you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. Maybe we're not so different. Maybe this person is in my life to really help me. And I looked at the clock and it was 24:24. It's freaking amazing. You see? So there's always things we can learn from. Always. I mean, it's just a beautiful, beautiful energy. It really, you know, when you look at the flow of it, it's just this beautiful energy that can keep going and keep going. if we choose to just keep utilizing the lessons, and if trials and tribulations come up, this is a strength card, okay? Because it doesn't always have to just be a message of love. It can be unions of love coming in, unions of love, reunions coming in. So you can be the magician, transmute that energy, right? Get those messages of love. Start working on this communication. Page of Cups is also communication. Start communicating more. See each other in a different light. Appreciate those differences. Bring new beginnings all the time. New beginnings don't have to just be a one-time occurrence, right? New beginnings are constantly coming. Oh, this is another new beginning, another new beginning. We're going to start, this is a new conversations. We can have conversations better, and we can talk better. We can understand each other better. And then the next time that a new messages come and they see each other and new beginnings happen, this new beginning is not just communicating, but understanding each other, right? Understanding each other and applying those concepts of understanding to each other. So it causes less and less, arguments, less of, all these things that would break you up normally, right? Because you're finding the strength inside you to see and appreciate that and transmute those energies. I resonate even with this, in this collective. Whoever I'm, reading for, I'm also in this collective because I resonate with this. I am a magician all the time. I transmute energies all the time. As soon as I learn a lesson and I start to finally figure things out, I'm talking even past lives, I transmute that bitch. Get rid of it. Transmute it into something that I can use. Knowledge, strength, hope, boundaries, independence and encouragement for myself, right? So we can take all those energies of fear, lack, less than, feeling less than, transmute those and make it into something that we can use. Make it into something that can help us in this lifetime, on this life plane. It's a beautiful energy. And it's a very circular energy, just keeps going. But, free will's involved. So are we willing to do this? Are we willing to do this? Spirit says. Because a continuous thing. People are working on this now. And this doesn't always have to be in the 3D. This is a 5D, 3D interchange, right? So you can see each other in the 5D most of the time. But that doesn't mean these lessons and seeing these differences can't be appreciated and used and helped in our own energies. Soul connections are this energy like this, right? It's just this melding. This is a soul connection, right? Here's one's divine masculine, divine feminine. And when the connection comes together, this is the energy that's being worked with. That connective energy. So you take a little bit of my earthy energy and I'll take a little bit of your water energy, and we can meld that. We can meld it and both utilize it and bring this balance into our lives. Bring this balance. So it's pretty wonderful. It's honestly pretty wonderful. It's a very calm and it's a very loving and very it's like eyes are opening here. Eyes are opening. Understandings are happening. Understandings are happening so much right now in this collective. It's just this flow, this beautiful flow in this energy. I'm just trying to explain how this is coming through. And because this reading is timeless, whenever you watch it, tap into it, this energy's here. If you're called to watch this reading, then it resonates with you. You are part of this. This is very calm and loving, and understanding is coming. It's here. We are transmuting these energies from differences into understanding. From a diversion, Spirit says, into appreciation. Very specific words coming through. It's pretty awesome. Very like capital bold letters, but very loving and very calm. And strength doesn't have to be firm. Strength doesn't have to be hard. Strength is just, what strength means to me, okay, Spirit's showing me, strength can be as simple and beautiful as seeing beyond our own egos and seeing other people for who they truly are and appreciating that, whatever that may be. It's taking that energy in. Strength is that. It's not blocking it. Strength is being able to see past our own ego, our own selves, and see the beauty of others. See the beauty of other souls. And really appreciate that. See that light coming out of the dragon. That's just beautiful. Beautiful knowledge and wisdom. Look at that. I mean, that's just a light of, that's a light of truth. That's what's coming out. It's the light of truth and having the strength to see that. I may be, it's showing her that, or him, it doesn't matter, that yes, I may be different. This light, I may be different. But it doesn't make me any less than or worse than. I'm different. And we can both appreciate that. You can appreciate that. All right, guys. Man, I just love this reading. I could just sit here and sit in this energy all night. It's just so, it's so beautiful and calm and loving. And this understanding, the understanding that's coming through and new beginnings. I just feel it's so loving. It really is. It's so much understanding and appreciation of a difference. Those words are coming in so strong. And it brings new beginnings. It's just so beautiful. It's just so beautiful. Just daring to have the strength. It's daring to have the strength to see beyond our own egos. Because the beauty that's on the other side of that. Wow. Wow. Man, we all have just so much to learn from each other. We all have so much to learn from each other. That's just beautiful. It's just so flow right here. It's so flow and so zen and so I just can't get over it. I should have probably ended this reading 5 minutes ago or so, but man, I'm telling you guys, we are the magician. We have this energy. If this is resonating with you, then take it. Take it, utilize it, transmute this into this beautiful, beautiful energy. All right, guys, I love you. I hope you really enjoyed this reading, and I will see you in the next one. All right, bye.